This is a response video to the Blue Hour, and his question was, why did I switch to a Mac? So about 2.5 years ago, before I got my Mac, I was just a PC user, Windows XP. I was playing one online game and I did word processing. 2 applications I used. I had computer knowledge, but I never used that to my full potential. I was no hardcore user. So one day I went to Myer, which is a big Australian department store, and we weren't looking for computers. We were just looking to buy plates, pretty much. And this guy, he comes up to me and he says, "Do you want to have a look at a really modern computer that actually works?" That was his exact words, really. And I go, "Sure, okay." So, we're walking and I was thinking, is this Dell, is this HP, is this Toshiba, is it these OEMs that I know that run Windows XP, And I was looking at it and it was Apple. I didn't think much of Apple at that time. And I was looking at the computer. It was a plastic iMac, Intel at that time. And I was like, this is a really nice computer. I was looking at it and it was, it's something that really brights up the room, and it's really nice design. So I was asking questions, how much does it cost, what's its specs. Then I went to the more obvious questions, and that's what freaked me out. I asked him because they only were showing the computer, of course, and they didn't show the tower. Every PC user had to ask this question when they were going to buy an iMac. And I asked, where's the tower? Where's the computer? They said there is no computer. There is no tower. It's inside the monitor. It's inside this computer. I was freaking out. I couldn't believe it. How could OEMs like Toshiba, HP, Dell have not done this by now? That was 2007. Okay? And Apple has done that for about the past 5 years before that. About 2002 they started with the iMac. They did that. It's a revolutionary product for me. Sure, some people say it was innovative, but it's revolutionary for me. And every obvious question I asked, I was just freaking out. I asked him, does it come with antivirus software? And he goes, why would you need antivirus software? It doesn't have viruses and spyware, and I was, there was this green dot, and asking what's that, and it says the camera is turned on. I found out that there's a camera in the computer. There's a microphone as well. The speakers are built into it. There's a DVD drive on the side. I was amazed, and the specs were good. How could that happen? This is really a computer that I really love. We didn't get it that day, but about a month later, during that month, I was researching like crazy. Mac versus PC. I was listening to all the ignorant PC comments. I was listening to all the Mac comments, and I was wondering what makes this better. I finally bought it. A month later, I paid half, and my mum paid the other. And when I turned it on, I was blown out of the water. I loved it. I love this computer. I right there, right now, I pressed that power button and I said, I'm not switching back. And I haven't since. I was looking at OS X, I was looking at Expo Z, I was looking at dashboard, I was looking at front row, all these eye candy features which actually do something, and I loved it. I can't even say I love it. I more than loved it. And I started researching about Apple's history. I've been watching his Steve Jobs keynotes and keynotes of the future. I was learning about the iPhone. I was just continuous Apple, and I was getting more computer literate like that. I started using RSS. I started, Twitter. I started to use YouTube itself. I've never recorded a video before. This is probably my 30th, 20th video. I would never do that. Why would I do that? But it's just the nature of things, really. So, and then when I got my computer, Vista came out. And this was when I was still at Tiger. And, I've been hearing all these stories of the BSOD and the drivers and, one friend of mine, got Vista and he crashed on him and I was, and then I say this, get a Mac. And do you know what they do? Oh, it's a Mac, you're only paying more for the Apple logo. And I'm thinking, there are lots of ignorant PC users in this world. Through my years of using my Mac, I've probably encountered about 150 arguments about Mac versus PCs. Me in the Mac side, of course. And I always noticed, not all PC users, but I've always noticed that almost all PC users were saying this: Macs suck. I ask, why? Because they can't run games. And that's it. Games is not the only bloody thing on a computer, And, Leopard came out and it was so much better than Vista, and it was, a nice innovation to Tiger. And this is where I am now. I love it, and if you are a PC user now and you're listening to me and you're interested in buying a Mac, I would say do it. It was for me the smartest thing I've ever bought. This is something that's changed me so much, and something that has gave me a better view on technology and what it can do, and what can companies do to make it better. HP doesn't know this. Microsoft, they don't do shit. So, I would say go for a Mac. Anything, iMac, MacBook Pro, MacBook, whatever. And and for PC users that are listening to me and they're saying, oh, well, mine I got it for cheaper. Well, mine has 500 gigabyte hard drive. Mine does this, mine does that. Mine runs games. Have you ever thought of what you are actually fighting at? What are the alternatives that you're saying? Macs don't run games. Mac runs Windows. Mac runs OS X and Windows side by side with VMware Fusion. Does your PC do that? I don't think so. So you can't beat it anyway, if you want to comment on my YouTube video, I will respond to you and I'll say why it is better. I can run your games. I can even get your viruses if you want. I can get your viruses if you're saying, oh well, Macs don't have viruses, So, I'm saying this. Get a Mac, and there is no way that you can pretty much beat a Mac. There is no way, because you can run both operating systems at the same time. You can run 5 operating systems at the same time. So anyway, to conclude this video, I'd like to, thank everyone that has responded, and thank the Blue Hour, because there are lots of Apple enthusiasts that actually do have a vision, have the same vision as Apple. And this is why Apple is so great, because people know what they want and Apple implements it. Look at the iPhone. This is my iPhone 3GS. They made it better. Okay, one friend comes to me and says, it looks exactly the same. Well, he doesn't know anything about technology. I'll say that to you. So I'm running out of time. And if you got any questions, please respond. And please tell me whatever you think, and I'll respond to that. And yeah, so please subscribe. And thank you for listening to my story.